Good. Good morning, good late morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. And we're all in one place. We're here on Zoom, and we're here on Facebook. Yes, we're on Facebook. Let me see if I can quickly just connect to Facebook so that we can see the sometimes questions, etc. So back to basics, Facebook, live, okay. Krishna, Krishna. All right, so let us begin by, yes, here we are. All right, make sure the sound is off. Okay, dear devotees, kindly excuse. So here we are, live on Facebook and on Zoom, and also live recorded. How about that? So happily with you all, let us begin with Vandanam, an auspicious beginning, auspicious invocation. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitanscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavedanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So everyone has been doing something since we met last, even if it was we met one or two of us just yesterday evening, but we've still all been doing something because we've been alive. And also we all think our own world is a very important world, like my world, this world. But when we look at the bigger picture, we have to admit we are very tiny, and we need to understand that our ego must be what? Not self-centered, that, oh, I'm a wonderful blade of grass, or I'm a wonderful anything, goldfish, whatever it may be. I was thinking of blades of grass because there are obviously, millions of blades of grass around, well, anyone who doesn't live in a city like Chongqing or something where you might have to go for a walk to find a blade of grass. But otherwise, there are millions of blades of grass, but they're all jiva souls, and there are millions of people. Just, see when there's a large gathering at a football match or whatever it may be. But there are millions of people, that everyone is got their own cosmos, little cosmos around them. And really, whether it is human, whether it is anything at all, it's like the very self-centered consciousness, unfortunately. And this, where I'm seated, most of you know probably, when I look out here, now it's night, so I can't see out, but when I look outside here, there's the pond that's in front of Srila Gurudev's Pushpa Samadhi, and there's a whole ego trip of birds and cats, and supposedly a frog, but anyhow, we'll leave that to, as Mohan Prabhu said, is it a rope or is it a snake? Well, is it a frog or is it a bird? We all have our own interpretations. But anyhow, it's, but what I wanted to point out was that outside here, there are three no longer babies, you could say adolescent birds, but we saw them from their falling out of the nest, or when their mother kicks them out of the nest. So they're on the ground and they're flopping about, trying to understand this flying science and doing all the mathematics of how their wings. No, they're not doing any mathematics. It's in their nature to fly. So they're just trying to do their first flying. And then one of the birds, actually, we saw that its actual first flying because it was flopping about on the ground and it was very close to me. I went outside there, as we do, to chant Gayatri and to chant Japa before Mangalati. And the bird was having a hard time. It was very close to me. I was surprised how close it was. And I thought it was injured, but it was just a baby bird. And I said to Munindra, look, there's a bird here, and a little afraid because of the cats. Munindra went up to it, and then it got some impetus to fly. Anyway, it then flew, and it went over, it flopped over the edge, and then it had to fly because over the edge is a drop. So that was its first flight. We saw it taking its first flight. And then 2 days later, that same family of birds, I don't know which one it is, but there are 3 of them which are the same age, one would say, within a day or two. And they're all young, they've got their feathers, but now they're flying around everywhere and fighting with each other. And it's almost like they're having fun, like I'm the master of flight. And it reminded me of teenage us, teenagers, but teenage us, that when we are 13 years old, we really think we know everything because by that time, we can walk, we can ride a bicycle, we can do this, I can do that, I can do that. And we think we know everything as a teenager, but actually we're like the bird. We just learned to fly and then, okay, now I've got flight. But then what happens? And the birds are essentially playing because the mum is feeding them still, so they don't have any other cares in the world. Anyway, it's a small thing, but they've all got ego, it is sure. And they've got personality, it is sure. And I could tell you lots of things that happen just outside here because it is interesting to watch nature go on. And the nature doesn't know you're there because they don't notice you unless you move a lot. Anyway, we've all got ego. And this is the difficulty. Srila Guru Maharaj explains that, Srila Guru Maharaj or Srila Guru Dev, but both explain that the only thing separating us from the Lord and that land of Krishna's land, which we can say heaven, because for a lot of us, we didn't know about the heaven of the material world, which is temporary. When somebody would say heaven, it gives the idea of eternal, blissful joy, a super happy place to be. And only later we come to learn, oh, well, there is heaven on earth. I mean, heaven on earth, maybe somebody has it also, but on earth it's very temporary. But heaven, later we learn that there are heavenly planets where you live for hundreds of thousands or even millions of years. But as children growing up, the baby birds growing up, and we hear about heaven, we do have some idea it is eternal and joyful. So now we've got our opportunity to know that that land exists, but separating me from there is my mountain of ego. It's not somebody else's mountain of ego. It's my mountain of ego. And so we do have to work on this and not immediately make the natural reaction, no, I don't have any ego. Oh, really? Because that is our nature to immediately say, defend ourselves, or you have got ego. Oh, no, I don't have ego. Oh, really? Then why are you not in Goloka Vrindavan? Why are you here? Why are you putting yourself at the center? Anyhow, these are some little thoughts from our days recently. But other things, when we first mentioned, we said we've all been doing something since yesterday. And yesterday in South Africa, there was the Jagannath Ratha Yatra festival. The Ratha Yatra festival is taking place. Here, something is taking place. Brazil, in the in the BYI, which is now the IBY, because in Portuguese, instead of Bhakti Yoga Institute, it is Instituto do Bhakti Yoga. Maybe, is that correct, Vrindavaneshri? Something like that.
Yes, yes. Are you correct? Dhanavad, Gurudev.
Okay, my first Portuguese, now like the little bird flying, I think, oh, now I know Portuguese. Okay, so anyway, there also they have things going on, and everywhere something is happening in the lives of not only the devotees, the lives of everyone. And anyway, we had a beautiful program here yesterday with the public and with the family, and it was just a day of some kind of inspiration that there is hope for the population of planet Earth. There is hope, but how Krishna, how Mahaprabhu and Nityananda have got things arranged for that penny to drop, for that click to happen in people's minds, in the mass population mind. I'm not sure, well, I don't know at all. I can't say I'm not sure. I don't know how Mahaprabhu is going to arrange it. So anyway, there is mass consciousness, and that mass consciousness was addressed by Buddha when the mass consciousness of the people was becoming degraded in the name of the Veda. It was then addressed by Sankaracharya when that mass consciousness was averse to the Veda, but was pretty much settled into being moral and being selfless in one sense. And then the mass consciousness changed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout India during the time of his presence, his direct presence on the earth. So there is mass consciousness as well as individuality consciousness. And of course, politicians and advertisers know that very well. And so here we are today, where in that time in history when the Vaishnava, the honest historians, those like Vyasadeva and Krishnadas Kaviraj, Vrindavan Das Thakur, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, those who are honest and giving history, not those who are victorious in battle, between countries, they write the history books, kind of history. But the history of the evolution, the continuation of the spiritual consciousness of the humans during Kali Yuga. Then when we look in the future, those honest historians, when they look back, they will really look and see that this time was such an opportunity, but somehow the mass world was blind to that opportunity. But some got it, you can say. Some picked up the ball and understood, this is the purpose of our life, and not to do basically the same as every household around us. And if you're in a big city like Sao Paulo or something, got all those high-rise concrete buildings, how many units of family units and units of the ego around the mother, the father, the ego around the children, the ego around the pet dog, the ego, all these things. It's going on in all of those flats, in the lower rise cities. It's going on in all of those houses, the shanty towns, the favela, all everywhere. Essentially the same thing is going on, in a different slightly different color and nature, but it's essentially the same thing that's going on. And sometimes in Italy here, we see a lot of cars, but some places we go, we don't see humans. And we think, what is everybody doing? We see the cars going from somewhere to somewhere, very busy. But when we go into the emporium or the supermarket, whatever we say, we find some people doing things there. But what's everyone doing in their homes? So we have a purpose to what we're doing. This is the point. So we are a little bit like the baby bird, and we've all got our ego, and we've got this mountain of ego, which just needs to be chipped down so we can see that our lives are not significant unless they are centered towards Krishna. Otherwise, it's like any other life going on from birth to death and trying to make it through. And the other thing which is the common necessity for everybody is love, beauty, sweetness, charm. But in the material world, then everyone's looking for it and getting a slight taste of it, and it's coming and going. But so much pain through trying to achieve the satisfaction of the heart in the material world. And it's all temporary. And then we see those who really do get some beautiful nourishment in their relationships, etc. Then one dies, one is sick, this happens, that happens. It is the nature of this world. So our ego is the problem, and whether we are a blade of grass, which I don't know what a blade of grass thinks, but we were thinking about what a blade of grass thinks when, actually the day before yesterday, we put down the blankets. They're not blankets, something like blankets that we sit on when we're in the vegetable garden or the garden to do kirtan. And then we're thinking, we're laying this down on all these blades of grass and all these daisies, nice little flowers. But we're squashing them all, we're sitting on them. And we're all thinking, yeah, everyone is a jiva soul. So we told them all, Hare Krishna, we're going to sit on you because we're going to chant kirtan. And if you weren't here, the ground would be very hard. So we're very grateful for you being here. Anyway, in some way, we do need to be conscious of all the living entities around us. And as far as possible, we want to be unconscious of our own needs. We put all this in the hand of the Lord. Accepting the Lord's guardianship, we try to do the devotional thing and not worry about what everyone's worrying about. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. These natural activities of the natural activities of the nature. All right, so this is a little opening from me, and seeing, and then, oh yes, and okay, many things. And now I'll leave the microphones open for you all. And yesterday, perhaps a couple of words to say. Yes, Sevarupa is with us from yesterday's Ratha Yatra, because it's South Africa, and it's a country with its own challenges, but there they have Ratha Yatra, and maybe Sevarupa would like to share just a little bit of yesterday. I mean, presumably it's ISKCON that held the program.
Dandavat pranams, Maharaj, and Dandavat pranams, dear devotees. I was just going to also share some of I took a pic and a video, and we also had, it is hosted by ISKCON, and my mom and family wanted to go, and it's also hosted over 2 days. It's today and yesterday. But yesterday was the pulling of the chariot, and it was hosted at a high school in Sandton. It's quite a affluent area in Johannesburg, and it was a great turnout. They had a lot of stalls as well, people selling toys and all different things, agrabatis, and yeah, like Vedic, not Vedic, but like Hindu, like all different influences. They run Govinda's, a restaurant or takeaway that's also through ISKCON. They had that there, and like kids, Whoopie dots, and they had some lectures. Yes, that were going on, questions and answers, and they had a stage with some shows that were on. But I will also share a short like video. And yes, my mom was, I think every step we went, she met so many devotees that she knows because she stayed um, at the temple in Durban for like a number of years, over 30 odd years or something. She stayed there, and she knows like kind of everybody. And so it took us quite some time to move from there to the car when we were leaving, because every stop was everyone greeting and, very sweet. And it was nice for me to see that and to view my mom in a different light. So yeah, and it was amazing that my mom and my aunt, I think we left, the chariot left at about 11 o'clock in the morning and got back at about 2:15, and they pulled the rope all the way. And it was, yeah, so it was very nice, very energetic. The kirtan was amazing, and they also had dancers, and they went through the high-rise buildings. So people from the top and around, they were handing out Back to Godhead magazines. So very good on the preaching side, and they catered for all those people. They normally have I think it's Food for Life, where they distribute then free prashadam, which is a biryani with dal and a soji or halva. Yes, so that was, and yeah, and it was still going on when we left around 4 in the afternoon. But I think in the evening they have also programs. So yeah.
I saw it was well attended. And
Yes.
kirtan, and it was a clear sky, so the kirtan can go all the way to the akash, as we hear in the kirtans, the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They go all the way to the sky, to the edge of the universe, no clouds to keep it in. So the devotees come together. And you said you saw your mum in a new light. Oh, my mum's famous amongst the devotees. Which is very beautiful, because we also, a child sees the daughter or the son of a king, sees the king as their father. But when they go out to some ceremony, they, oh, my father, he's the king. So it's also very beautiful. So we often say too about, we need excuses to bring devotees together. And the Ratha Yatra festivals around the world, they do bring devotees together very much. And we see, devotees coming together from every kind of corner and, local faith or whatever it may be, wherever they've gone to throughout their journey of life, they do come together for the Ratha Yatra. So it brings devotees together and equalizes everyone. As we say, in kirtan, everybody's equal, really. There's no, well, ego is always there, but somehow or another, we're caught in the wave of just the kirtan. And the Ratha Yatra brings devotees together, and it brings kirtan to the public. And still, I'm quite surprised how it is that in London, in New York, in Johannesburg, in big cities of the world, they get the police permission and even police escorts and all these things, for a ceremony which even we, I mean, not even we, but we as devotees, in all honesty, we find some difficulty to adjust. Okay, I have to adjust to this, I know, but this is a plane of faith. We have the faith in the Lord. We've got the faith in Mahaprabhu, who exemplarily, danced and chanted in front of the chariot of Jagannath. We've got the faith in our gurus. We have that. We've got something, we must admit. But the police authorities and all these things, how do they get the faith to say, this is this is a good festival and we should close, the central street that all the cars go down. We should do all this for the sake of these people. It's also something, a mystic there in Mahaprabhu's influence. And in many cities, and not just the city, but the most important places, busiest places of the cities, the government shut down the area for the Ratha Yatra. So it is also very wonderful. And this way, the public get to see still the Krishna Kirtan, chanting of the Lord's holy names. Hare Krishna, so well done. And did you pull the rope? Sevarupa, did you pull the rope?
Yes, Maharaj. I was just putting the video on to see if it was appropriate to share. Yes, I did get to pull the rope, and yeah, and you know, you had to actually, like Kayla was also with, and she was saying that some of the ladies were like pushing and, you know, shoving. And I was saying to her, when you have also mentioned to us on Parikram that how people are so eager to get to the Lord, or, you know, get in front. So yes, I did also.
And in Puri, Jagannath Puri, where the original, if you like, Jagannath resides, to pull the rope, you do have to face a lot of, like a million challenges, literally, a million other jiva souls eager to pull the rope. And interestingly, you know, it's not the biggest people that succeed to get to the rope. It's the ones with the pointiest elbows that are able to get in there. And it's not usually the Westerners, it's the Indians. You can get it. I think Indian DNA has got some extra pointed elbows hidden in the secret qualities of the Indian DNA. Hare Krishna. And it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, correct? Where there is that, where the verse is quoted, if one takes their birth in India, then their duty is to be Krishna conscious and to spread that to others. Something like that, it comes through as the translation. So fortunate to have such opportunity. And now the whole world is fortunate. If we are born as a human on planet Earth, now that Mahaprabhu's message has come around, then it is our duty to practice and to distribute. This is what Mahaprabhu gave us. Hare Krishna. And let me click and see who would like to volunteer something that's been happening, they've been doing, or that's been happening locally in the last few days or hours. A volunteer. See, no ego in the devotees. They're not going to volunteer. Nirupama Devidasi, welcome. Nirupama Devidasi from Ukraine, who was here for so long with her 2 children. And she's now she's back in Ukraine. She faces so many difficulties in her life all the way through, but always she's remembering Krishna with a smiling face. So she's live with us also. So well done, Nirupama. And we saw the pictures of you and the video of you, which I was praying. I was taking shelter of the Lord when I saw you roller skating in Kiev. War going on all around, and roller skating in Kiev with a big smile on their face. Just see, the devotees are extraordinary species of human being. Hare Krishna. Paramananda Prabhu, I know you're bursting to say something, and you're there with Jai Gauranga Prabhu, who's been very quiet recently. I don't know if he's been very quiet in Thailand, but he's been very quiet on the Zooms. Maybe you can encourage him to share some devotional insight.
Well, I will give him a few minutes to think about it.
And in the meantime,
Yes, Mark, go ahead.
No, I said a few minutes to think about it. And in the meantime, from yourself.
Oh, I was just remembering, hearing Sevarupa's report about Jagannath Ratha Yatra. So that brought a very good memories about my first big festival in the Hare Krishna movement. It was the first ever Ratha Yatra in Soviet Union in 1990, just when the old regime collapsed and the new regime was emerging, and the Hare Krishnas were suddenly legal and free to go on the streets, chant, and distribute books. Before that, we would gather in small apartments here and there, and it was always in a certain amount of secrecy involved. I mean, devotees were actually persecuted, lesser towards the later years of Soviet Union, but still, we were not allowed to practice Krishna consciousness. Let's just say it was illegal, as strange as it may sound. So in 1990, when the country finally opened up, the devotees, our senior devotees, decided to celebrate that with a huge Jagannath Ratha Yatra festival. And interestingly, like you can imagine, like Srila Prabhupada, he had that Ratha Yatra on the Fifth Avenue, the heart of the New York, the heart of America, we can say. So in a way, St. Petersburg is always considered to be the cultural capital of Russia. And it's the old capital too. So, and there we have this massive summer palace of Russian tsars and a huge square. You've probably been there, Maharaj.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's where we had our Ratha Yatra. Passing through the Nevsky Prospect and entering through this famous arch into that huge square in front of the Winter Palace. That's where the revolution happened, actually, the takeover of the power in 1917. And that was absolutely amazing. Devotees came from all over the Soviet Union at that time and gathered there in St. Petersburg, and we had this massive festival, and a huge Ratha was built. Not smaller, at least equal, perhaps bigger than Jagannath, maybe not bigger, but at least equal but in the size as the Jagannath Ratha Yatra, but only one Ratha, not three. And Baladev, Subhadra, and Jagannath were all seated on the same chariot, pulled by maybe a few hundred devotees, maybe 1,000 devotees at that time. And there was a big initiation ceremony. It was from the morning till the very evening. And lots of people joined in, just the normal people, passers-by, and would hear this enormous kirtan going on. Think about hundreds of the devotees finally allowed to sing in the public, having a real Nagar Sankirtan, not hiding, not trying to do a harsh kirtans, but openly singing. And the weather was fantastic. So I was just remembering that. And it's become a tradition. So for the next, till probably this day, I'm not so sure, but till I left the country, we all had that festival on the same day, in the same place, going through the whole Nevsky Prospect, which was shut down for us. I mean, think about it. It's the busiest street, and it's the main street of the city. And they would close it just for the Ratha Yatra, for Lord Jagannath to pass through. And even though the Pandits in Jagannath Puri, they're criticizing, they're saying, oh, those mlechkas, they're doing this, they don't understand, and committing so many apparats. And there's some criticism coming from that section. Not all of them, but some sections criticizing the devotees, Western devotees. We can see it as the dispensation of Jagannath's mercy, because that's what he does when he comes out of the temple. He is there to give shelter to everyone, to give darshan to everyone, to see everyone, and to accept offers from everyone. At some point, I forgot that place, maybe you, Maharaj, remember. The Radha stops and it stays there overnight. And then this is the moment when everybody, regarding the caste, regarding their even eating habits, can come forward and to offer anything to Lord Jagannath. So merciful he is. So it's only natural to think that his mercy will be distributed to every corner of the world through the agencies of the devotees, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, who went everywhere. He established that festival himself. And the mystical meaning of Ratha Yatra too, it's so beautiful. I mean, there's so many sides to it, but really it's Krishna who is moving towards the land that attracts him the most and towards the personalities that attract him the most. So he's captured by the love. So those robes we're talking about, they're actually love, bhav of his dear devotees. That's what pulling Krishna. The ropes cannot pull him. It's impossible for him. Nothing can pull him. But that love felt in the heart of the inhabitants of Raja. This is the reason why he is moving in that direction. And remembering Bhagavad Gita, what is the final conclusion? Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Go there, go to Raja, dive deep, take shelter of the residence of Raja, because that's where Krishna never leaves. That's where he is always attracted to. So it's so beautiful. So maybe Sevarupa, you didn't even need it to pull the actual rope. Just feel some love for Krishna, and then the Radha will move. And sometimes Radha has to stop because they're also attracted by the bhava of the devotees, like it happened with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the time when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared. We also hear when how it happened during Mahaprabhu's Leela, when Radha would stop and Mahaprabhu, nothing could move. People tried, wrestlers tried, elephants tried. Nothing could move the chariot. And then Mahaprabhu comes behind and with his forehead, gently he pushes the Radha. And the Radha starts moving. I mean, really, it's absolutely mystical pastime. And it's so wonderful to see it happening here and there in different parts of the world. We can say in the most God-forsaken places. We can say that, but they're not forsaken. Otherwise, how is that Ratha Yatras are happening? How is that devotees are residing there? How is that people hearing Nam Sankirtan at every corner? And this is the prediction too. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he envisioned that, and it is happening. Why is it happening? He envisioned, yes, that was the plan of the Lord, but that was also a desire of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And if such is the desire of the devotee, then Krishna is very eager to fulfill that. Regardless, maybe he will change the plan. He's also whimsical. But if that is a strong desire of the Vaishnava, then Krishna is obliged. He will not miss that. He will fulfill that desire. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, every village, well, actually, this is not Mahaprabhu's prediction. Anyhow, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also expressed that. And soon it will be heard in every village, in every corner of the world. And the Western Vaishnavas and Indian Vaishnavas will be dancing and serving together. And that's all being fulfilled. And we're witnessing that. I mean, people are junkies for the miracles. Everybody wants a miracle. Give me a miracle, give me a miracle, show me the God. We're living in the miracles. We're just getting a little bit too familiar, so we're stopped noticing that miracles all around us. We're living through that experience already. You just need to open your eyes and open your ears and just start seeing and hearing. And Maharaj opening introduction to this program today was also wonderful. It reminded me, we've been reading Sermons of the Garden of Devotion, and just a few days ago, we've been reading something along those lines you've been saying, Maharaj. And if you permit, I would like to read Guru Maharaj's words. It's just
Please.
a short paragraph. So he's saying, this is Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sriladev Goswami Maharaj. He's saying, the beginning of your interest is to bow down your head, and your heart will be captured automatically. Just bow down your head and your heart will be captured automatically. It will happen naturally. Try to connect with that section where you will always be with folded palms and where you can never be master. Such abnegation and courage of self-giving is necessary if you want to live in the higher plane. Otherwise, you may reign in hell. According to the Satan's words, it is better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. But just the opposite is necessary. Anyway, there's so many different wonderful things that Srila Guru Maharaj will be saying about it. But this is the world of exploitation. Like you're saying, the child comes, and the children are super selfish. I mean, some adults at some point, they learn how to control their selfishness. We're all selfish to a different degree, but the adult may learn how to control more or less. But again, he will be focused on his own local interests. But children are super selfish, and teenagers, extremely selfish and very asserting. They think they can rule the world. The world is at their feet. They are the masters of the universe. There is this verse that we all know. Ahastani sahastamam apadani chatushpadam palguni tatra mahatam jiva jivasya jivanam. So the life is sustained on expanse of life of the other in this world. The Shastras are saying this is the way. And it's not just consuming, the physically consuming each other, but it's asserting your own ego over the other egos, seeking power, seeking domination, exploitation. So this is what we're engaged in. Jiva jivasya jivanam means that, not just eating each other all the time. And that is also included, of course. Life sustenance on expense of somebody else, body, mind, ego, etc., etc., etc. So this is the way of this world. But we want to connect to our home. We don't want to stay in illusion. So Guru Maharaj is saying, we must bow down to him. And it will happen to you naturally. Your heart will be captured. And you will enter that world where you can never be a master. I can see Rupanuga, he is in Ratha Yatra festival somewhere. Probably. At least some Harinam Sankirtan going on. And just to conclude, Maharaj was speaking about the birds. There are all kinds of birds. And bird is also something that our acharyas are often put on as an example. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear this beautiful description. Yad anucharita lila karma tiyusharitu sakit adana vidhuta dvandva dharma vinashta sabadhigriha kutumbadina utsrijidina bhavai havihanga dikshucharyam charanti. It is said when someone hears the glorious description of the Lord's pastimes, his name, his qualities, just hears it once with sincerity and faith, it enters his ear. And for the rest of his life, for the rest of his existence, he will be just like a wandering bird, looking for the similar drops of nectar, leaving absolutely everything that was dear to him prior to that behind. He will lose interest, and he'll be wandering like a bird here and there, begging, give me more, where can I find more? And really, these verses and the Shastras, they're giving us so much nourishment and so much hope. And we're praying, we're aspiring for that kind of position, to be that kind of bird described in Srimad Bhagavatam. But not just a whimsical bird that goes here and there and takes this and takes that. It's further refined by Srila Rupa Goswami. Stuyate chatakena. We want to be the chatak bird, who only takes the water from the rainy clouds, however dangerous it can be, however long it will take, and however rare it is, with the abundance of other sources of water. Still, they're only taking that. Anyhow, Maharaj, let's see what's going on. I think that's Manasa Krishna Prabhu there.
Oh yes, you're talking and you're talking, and I have to say we are a little bit distracted because we've got this this kirtan going on, and we need an explanation from Rupanuga Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Look who I found.
We can't hear you very well, but I'm sending my Dandavad Pranam. Very happy.
Wonderful. Very happy surprise to see Manasa Krishna, to see you at the World Chess Championships.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
I think what we saw before were ISKCON devotees.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ISKCON. They're not from the Nimbin. They're not from our beloved crew.
No.
No.
They're all the devotees are beloved.
Say something.
very blessed to have cyber darshan of my long lost brothers. Very happy.
Very
We're
happy.
not long lost, Manasa. You are long lost. We're here.
Yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah.
We appreciate you sharing the kirtan, but Manas is not playing the mridanga and he's not singing. This
No, it does not
only
count.
thing lacking in the kirtan.
Yes, the day will come again very soon where I shall return to the fold.
October, Chiang Mai.
October, Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
Could be on the map. It's funny, I was thinking of you, Param, just the other day. I wanted to call and say good day. So, yeah, it'd be good to have a chat.
All right.
Have a
All
chat
right.
soon.
We're waiting for you here in October.
Oktoberfest.
Now it's witnessed by so many.
Say again?
You promised, and it's witnessed by so many people here.
And by Krishna as well.
Uh-oh.
I'll help you get it. I better go.
Dandavad.
Yes, Dandavat Manasa Krishna
Good to
Prabhu.
see you.
The mission.
Hari Bol. Join the kirtan, chant, dance, be happy. Many thanks, Rupanuga Prabhu. Happy surprise.
I thought that was another Ratha Yatra.
Yes, at the beginning, I thought so. But the only sign I saw was World Chess Championships or something. So I don't know what the gathering was actually, but it's all good. If it gives the opportunity of Harinam Sankirtan, it's all good. Hare Krishna. Yes, so from one Australian who's in Australia to, not an Australian, a New Zealander who was in Australia and now is not actually in Thailand, but in the Govinda Farm Ashram. Then, Jai Gauranga Prabhu, kindly a few words, let us hear.
Sundar Maharaj, Sundar everyone. Very good. Well, we're very fortunate at the moment to have here also another representative from Australia, Mohan Ananda Prabhu. Very fortunate to have his association. He's here setting a very good example for us. We're learning so much from him. His mood is very exemplary, his mood of service to Gurudev. He has so many stories of Gurudev, and so we're very fortunate that we're able to hear those stories, have his association. This is very valuable to have the association of these Vaishnavas while we have them here. Yeah.
Okay, happily. And Ram Sundar Prabhu is sitting there looking very Atma Rama. So I think he's learned something from Mohan Ananda Prabhu. We can ask to Ram Sundar Prabhu, what have you learned from Mohan Ananda Prabhu this visit?
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat, dear devotees. Well, one thing that I've been liking a lot, I can say that it's been nice and refreshing to hear from Mohan Ananda Prabhu, is you only need to let the Lord know three things, or I guess it's along those lines. One, I'm surrendered to you, and second, I love you. And that's the gist basically. But I mean,
number three.
Number three, Mohan.
What is
well, he can reveal it himself. He's right here.
There we are. A silhouette.
Number three is gratitude.
Okay, so tell us the three again.
All right. One, I'm yours and I'm surrendered, but same. Two, I love you. And three, to be grateful.
Well,
So I've
yesterday here we had some revision also of some of the basic things, like Mohan's giving us 3 things. And here, Krishna Kanta, she gave us the revision that somebody here discovered, some maybe a couple of years ago. What is surrender? And finally, this is the words of the devotees here. Surrender means smile and say yes. We don't have to make things very complicated. And Mohan Ananda's being, should I say, unusually quiet. He's being very quiet in the
He's
corner.
coming for a minute, Maharaj.
He's saving it all up to share with the devotees. He's going to be in, oh, here we are with the blue.
Dandavats, Maharaj. Dandavats, everybody.
Dandat Mohan Ananda Prabhu. I have positive evidence you have not always worn purple. I got pictures of you wearing white with Gurudev.
Most of the time spent with you. Joy. Those were the days, yeah, when we were young, at the feet of our beloved masters, Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Nothing was more essential than white. That was wonderful. Yeah, I knew you were going to ask the boys about me, so I said quietly, looking over there, make sure they said the right things about me. That's joking. Yeah, good time here, Maharaj, with the boys, really lovely. You know, like with my grandchildren, really. They're so young and doing wonderful things and being so dedicated every day, 6 o'clock on the dot, serving the Lord and doing everything else. Yeah, it's a really lovely mood down there. But soon I'll be there together with you in London, and we'll celebrate a wonderful occasion, 40 years of Guru Maharaj's installation of the deity. So that'd be nice. Yeah, and today we actually have some very important guests coming from India, people who are going to be helping our beloved Paramananda Prabhu and Krishna Priya Devi fulfill the dream of Srila Gurudev, who always wanted a temple in Thailand, especially here in Chiang Mai, but in a Thai style. So these are Indian people that are coming, that are suppliers of the exquisite doors and columns and stuff that you have in Villa Govinda, the same guy. So they're coming here, so we're going to go to the airport, collect them and show them what their efforts will do. And so that's part of our service duties today and for the next 2 days. Some seva there. But Paramananda Prabhu, you must tell them about the machine. The holes have been dug and we're now ready to put the columns, no?
Oh, yes, yes, it is ongoing. I mean, as you know, the construction is ongoing. It's never-ending process. So, with the better come and see for yourself. Let me offer you that. Come and see.
All of you. Yeah, everybody.
Actually, it would be a wonderful festival if each of the devotees who do regularly, all of you who are here, if all of you can be there together, that would be a wonderful festival. We won't even have to turn on the on switch on the computer. We'll be all together happily. Hare Krishna. Yes, dear ones, who would like to volunteer a word or two? Leela Moy Prabhu, you may all think you know where he is. He is in a place called Biot in France. I expect, unless he ran away from the group. But they've gone, this is now the third meeting and the third time the devotees have gone to Biot. And so they're down there with a group of 4 young ones, all young. The fledgling, not fledgling, but they've got their feathers, and now they're flying in Biot in France and trying to do something good. Oh, can you just give a brief message? As I mentioned, everybody's doing something all the time. And they did a Saturday evening program yesterday. Saturday evening program in Vidyot. What is the news? What is the news, Leela Moy Prabhu? Just briefly share that. I also haven't got that news yet.
Dhanavad, obeisances to everyone. So the program was yesterday evening. It was a very, very sweet program. A few people came to the program. It was Jagannath Prabhu that was the main speaker. He told many beautiful things. It was very inspired to see the flowing of the French language. We know that it's not about language, heart-to-heart transaction, but it was beautiful. Maheshwar Didi also said a few things, and it was a very successful program. In the last few days, we were in the streets, distribute pamphlets. We sit in the park doing some Harinam Sankirtan, trying to talk with people. That was the schedule for the last few days, and yesterday the program was very, very beautiful. Basically that. More details Ganath will tell you, and that's it.
And they have a new book, the first book as such in French. We did have, or there are devotees in Paris or near Paris, but I don't think they made any book. But now Jagannath Prabhu, who's led the group that's gone there because it's his hometown and he's got the facility to host the devotees through his family. But he very earnestly translated Home Comfort into French. And so he translated it and extensively asked about some of the content. So he's trying to get everything very correctly in the French language, and already published it on Amazon, and himself, as you can do, purchased, whoever publishes, they can purchase their own books for a reduced amount. And so he published published it on Amazon, and then purchased some books, and so they've been with those books, distributing those there near Nice in southern France. So well done. It's not just going there, but some preparation, and they took the large printed pictures and things to show people, to introduce them to, so that people can see it's not just somebody standing on the street distributing a book, or somebody arranging a program in a yoga studio, but with connection. And it's not who we are, it's who we know. And we happen to know the wonderful saints of the modern age, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada. And even if we've not met them, we know them. We know where they are. We know, where they are, like spiritually, we know that their message is here. And this way, that there is a connection from above, and not just another good idea. Something from the scripture says this, so we do this. Something says we chant this, we do this. Something says we do this exercise, we will clean our consciousness glands, so our consciousness will be cleaner or something. Not these kind of, picking up a little bit of something here and there, but the bigger picture, and the biggest picture, to come home to Krishna, the other side of that mountain range of ego, where really it is heaven of the most inconceivable order that Guru Maharaj says, you cannot imagine what it is like. It is beyond imagination. Imagination can only reach so far. But there we will find that every atom of our body is fully at home, fully nourished, and inconceivable joy. And in this world, we're all looking for some joy, but looking in the wrong place, looking in the mundane plane. And as we mentioned in the early part of today, all those millions of flats, millions of houses, millions of units of family life, all searching for joy. but searching in the wrong place. But when the material, all those family units are utilized in Krishna service, then it becomes perfect. And Goloka Vrindavan is made up of millions and billions of persons. Everyone is a person, but they are all not focused in their family unit. They're focused on Krishna in their environment. So now in France, some presentation of this kind of idea that really heaven is there with Krishna. We have to be a servant, a humble servant. And Ram Sundar gave us 3 things to remember, and I've forgotten them already. The 3 things to remember were, okay, we'll ask someone, have you all been paying attention? Bimal Krishna, you look like you're paying attention. What are the 3 things that Ram Sundar summarized for us from Mohan Ananda? We must mention the source. 1,
surrender.
And I am yours. Yes.
I'm yours. Yes, and then I love you, or something. But also gratitude.
The 3rd was gratitude.
Yeah, the second one I'm not so clear on. It's like saying I love you, or
okay,
give your love, or.
Well, Ramson is gone, so we can't check with the teacher. But who's going to tell us more word for word? Any volunteer? Come on, we're all of us heard.
Can't bomb harder than I did, right?
No, you did okay, Bhima Krishna. You did okay. Okay, well, look, Seva Rupa. She's written it down. I'm yours and I'm surrendered to you. I love you, always to be grateful. Did you write it down as notes like in a class, or did you actually remember it just now?
No, I was just typing it out as a summary for Leela Moy Prabhu for our Facebook page.
Okay, perfect. So well done, you. You see, when we're at school and university, we have the notepad, and we write these things down so that they help to go in. So, Bhima Krishna, it's okay. You were brave to attempt the answer. We're all sitting thinking, oh, I hope Madhusudan doesn't ask me. I was also thinking that too. I hope he doesn't ask me. So anyhow, here we are. I'm yours and I'm surrendered to you. I love you, and always be grateful. Sounds like a good theme to try to put into our practicing life. And by the way, Seva Rupa she's put the videos and pictures from the Ratha Yatra festival in South Africa. So please do take a look at those, and pictures of Paramananda Prabhu and his family, who very auspiciously have been very instrumental to bring Guru Maharaj and Gurudev's conception and Gurudev himself to South Africa. So all appreciation for the hidden service of so many. And we know of some of that hidden service because we've seen that service. But there are so many in the world whose hidden service has been the way that Mahaprabhu's mission through our guardians has been spread around the world. So let us all try to do our little bit, whatever we can, for spreading the message of Mahaprabhu, consolidating our own foundation, and sharing with others. This is all our Krishna conscious, this is all in our Krishna conscious practice. And to all our devotees in Salt Lake City, in Thailand, in USA, in France, and around and about. And Rukmini, she joined us right at the end, very close to the end. But Rukmini, very happy to see you with us. And our devotees in Australia, South Africa, Brazil, and yes, different places of America, as we see, including Sweet Lake City. Hare Krishna, all right. And Nirupama, she's with us on Facebook, because I only see people who send messages. So she's with us on Facebook, happily having the presence of you all on Facebook, on Zoom, and in the recorded version. Jai to our masters, our super masters, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and our whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. And now is time to chant. Well, time here, time for many of us, always time to chant Hare Krishna. And we are fortunate here, the weather is now super, and we're able to chant before Mangalati, like now, the Gayatri and Japa outside. And we're in that particular time here at Vila Govinda Ashram, where it's warm enough to be comfortably outside, but the mosquitoes have not yet started their family life. And so they're not out to get our blood. So it's a gentle time to chant outside in Vila Govinda Ashram. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat and Jai to each of you individually. And we'll speak again soon here on Zoom, but I'll be, by the Lord's wish, if it is the Lord's wish, I'll be in London and May the 4th. Oh yes, so it'll be early morning on one of their festival days. They're having a series of festivals for the 40th anniversary of the installation of the deities in London. Blessed by Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockop Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Guru Dev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. So we'll be in London next time. Oh, but it'll be Thursday. Yes, we'll be in London on Thursday. We'll meet you from there soon. All best wishes. My Dandavat Pranam. And I don't know if you can hear the birds. Can hear? No. The birds are waking up, including a cuckoo outside. So it's spring. Krishna says, of seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. But it's the life-bearing spring also, which is very happy. All right, dear devotees, I better go and chant Hare Krishna. Ashchi.